I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to be talking to just the ladies. Well, some of you guys might be interested too. I'm talking about nails, fingernails. These beautiful long nails that we love to have. They make us feel pretty, they look nice, they're glamorous. Years and years ago, it used to be $40 to get all of your nails done, the tips on them, so they'd be nice and long and look pretty. And then when they grow out and you need a fill, that would be $20, and you'd do that every 2 weeks. Not too bad. Nowadays, oh my gosh, it depends on where you go, but some places will charge up to $75 or more for a fill. What used to be $20 is now ridiculous. Add to that any art, any pretty bling, or any designs that you might want drawn on there, and that's going to cost you even more. Some women are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on their nails per month. I don't see how. So how do I do it? I'll tell you, I do it myself. And a lot of women have started to think about doing it themselves. Let me encourage you. It's not that hard, really. And the amount of money you spend on the product compared to what you pay for the expertise and the ability of the woman who's doing your art for you is ridiculous. There's a big markup. And yeah, it's worth it if you've got a real artist who knows what they're doing, they've been properly trained, and they've been working for 10, 20, 30 years. I can see that, they earn their keep. It's a hard job, definitely. But if you can't afford it and you still want to have pretty nails, you can. Years ago, back in the 80s, everything was done with acrylics, and I was on the road a lot. So if I was in the middle of Nebraska and I broke a nail or I needed a fill, I had to go to whoever was there. Well, as you might imagine, the technicians in the middle of Nebraska aren't quite as good as the ones in Los Angeles. So I would see a big difference in quality, and I would pay, but I would be very disappointed. And more than one time, I would walk away thinking, my God, I could do better than that myself. So I finally decided, well, why don't I try? I mean, I can't do any worse than that, right? So I tried, and yeah, there's a learning curve. And you come to the point where how do you do your right hand if you're right-handed? Well, that's when you've got to use your non-dominant hand. At some point, you will have to use your non-dominant hand. But it's like anything else. Practice makes perfect. And if you're going to be doing this every 2 weeks, pretty soon you'll get a good amount of practice. Well, for years, I had kids, I raised them, I had a garden, I was getting my hands in the dirt. There was no need to have glamorous nails anymore. So I took them off. And for years, I just went natural. Well, my kids are grown. Now I've got grandkids. And I'm thinking, I kind of liked having those long, glamorous nails. It was nice. And I'd like to go back to that. So I did. Well, now we're doing gel. Well, the difference between acrylic and gel is just your product. The technique is basically the same, and it's really not that hard. Nowadays, we have the internet, you have YouTube, and there are tutorials on YouTube that will teach you how to do it, that will tell you what you're aiming for, what you don't want to do, what you do want to make sure that you do. And as long as you make sure that you're good with your hygiene and that you don't do anything that could cause you to have any kind of dermatitis or bacterial infections or anything like that, it's all a matter of, is this acceptable to you? And if not, you've got the tools right there at your fingertips, literally, to take them off and do it again. And you've got time, you're not paying for it, you've got the product, it's at your house, you do it in your spare time. Bottom line, I highly suggest you consider doing it yourself. Because to tell you the truth, the way my nails look right now, I like them better than just about anybody has ever done my nails before. And I think that's basically because I know what I like. And it's easier to do what I like than it is to tell somebody, no, I don't like it like that. I want it like this. I want it like that. Because you don't want to be too picky, you know. You want to trust the process, trust the technician, that they know what they're doing. But when you're doing it yourself, you have all the control. And I've got enough product to last me a couple years probably. And I've spent less than most people would spend just for one set of nails the first time. It's amazing. And I'm not saying these technicians aren't worth it. They've been trained, they're licensed, they know what they're doing, and they get you in and out in a great amount of time. That's the one caveat. When I did it myself, I found out it's going to take more time. I'm not going to get them all done in an hour, you know, but I'm at my house and I can stop anytime, grab a snack, watch some shows on TV, and then go back to it. Do one hand one day, do the other hand the next day. Doesn't matter. Nobody knows but me. So I highly recommend you consider, not that you should or that you have to, you know, look at your own circumstances, but definitely consider doing your nails yourself because it's not that difficult. And in most places, you can buy the product and the tools that you need without a license. So it's not a problem.